janvier 2017, Nieuport s'attend à la tempête du siècle. Heureusement, elle n'a pas lieu. Depuis 10 ans, la côte belge se prépare à cette tempête. Le gouvernement flamand protège sa côte. À Ostende, des tonnes de sable rehaussent la plage. De nouvelles digues plus hautes cassent désormais les vagues. Mais pour ces pêcheurs, c'est loin d'être suffisant.
L'eau, ça n'avait pas stoppé ça. Si ça monte, ça monte, vous ne savez pas stopper ça. Vous pouvez mettre des rigoles, tout ce que vous voulez. Ça doit retourner sur un point.
I remember where the whole EU story started. It started about energy. And you can imagine that the New Deal for the EU would also be about energy, fighting climate change, and so on. And I think this is really a driving project for the EU. But also when you look at the little film we just seen, there's another aspect you have to touch upon, which is how do you mobilize enough money to invest all what's needed because of the climate change. So I think the two aspects need to be taken into account. So regarding the financial dimension, I think the private sector is not enough to do it, and obviously we need to attach much more importance to how to mobilize public money. And for this, we've been pushing during this mandate for the Juncker Plan, which was foreseen in the beginning as a general plan for investment, to have a leverage from public money vis-à-vis the private sector. And this plan was initially launched for 2 years. But obviously, when you see the investment need all over Europe, it's much bigger than what could be achieved in 2 years. And this plan had been quite successful. So we've been able to renew this plan. But when we renew it, we were there successful to say that we want 40% of this plan to be dedicated to renewables and climate change. So how will the EU meet the requirement of the Paris Agreement? So that was one step. The next step I think we will have to look at is how the next, what we call MFF, Multi-Annual Financial Framework, which means the budget for the upcoming years, of the EU, how this budget also will be mainly focused, dedicated to the fight against climate change. So it's not an easy task because, of course, you have to admit that the starting point from the different member states is not always the same. For example, some countries very much depend on coal, others would be in a more favorable position when it comes to renewables and so on and so on. But we need to have a joint effort if we want to be successful. And the Parliament, I think, has been in the driving seat in terms of ambition when it comes to defining the targets.